Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Giselle. I review fragrances. So if you share this passion with me and if you are into fragrance reviews, please make sure to subscribe so you also support me. I am a new YouTube creator, and your thumbs up if you like my channel, my content, and your subscription means the world to me because you will be helping me grow my channel. And if I grow my channel, I'll be able to deliver more content for you. So let's get started. This is part 2 of fragrances to die for, and I want to start today with a very unknown fragrance which I talked about previously in another video, which is Anayaki Pour Elle. So Anayaki is a high-end Japanese skincare brand. They have a few fragrances as well. They are super top quality, very refined, super chic. This is in particular my favorite. It's a very chic fragrance. It's very airy, very fresh, but it's not herbal. And this is like almost like a tea fragrance. It has something leafy to it, but it's not really a tea fragrance, but it can be in that category, if you know what I mean. It's a very watery type of fragrance, but it has amazing sillage, and it lasts 6 hours at least in my skin. So for this category, I think it does pretty well. And it's, as I said, it's an amazing fragrance. The brand wanted you to experience a Japanese garden when you spray this on yourself, right? So when you wear this, and it is so on point because when you use this, the first time you spray this on, you can almost feel like you are in a Japanese garden. It's very uplifting, very invigorating, it's very energizing. So it's I love this fragrance. I'm actually on my way to find a backup. It's a hard to find one, and I want to buy a backup for this because it's so amazing. It's super safe. It's like for office safe, 100%. You can wear it to do errands, you can wear it for lunch, you can wear it even for dinner, although it's not a nighttime type of fragrance, but you can definitely pull it off during the night. I don't like labels, I don't like tags. So, you know, even if some fragrances are marketed towards, you know, the summer or the winter or the day or the night, although there are some notes that would be more appropriate for summer or for night or for winters, I mean, I think it all depends on your chemistry. It all depends where you live. Winters are not the same in the United States, on the East Coast, than on the South or on the West, and we are talking about just one country, right? So it really varies, right? So it's a nice fragrance. It's, to me, it's to die for. Honestly, I get massive compliments every time I wear this. People ask me all the time, what am I wearing? And it smells very different. So Anayaki Pour Elle. I'm gonna make sure to link everything down below. So the second one, I talked about this before as well. One of my favorites of all, it's Granada by Memo Paris. Memo Paris, it's a niche brand. Everything they make is like super top notch, best quality, best packaging, best bottle, best ever. And this is Memo Granada is inspired by the Spanish city of Granada, which is beautiful. It's in the south of Spain, lots of history, lots of orange blossoms, white flowers. This is exactly what the fragrance has. It's very balsamic as well. It's very refined. And yeah, it's basically a white floral with a strong orange blossom note, but it's the best orange blossom you can get in the market. There's nothing like it. Again, this is a massive compliment getter. I think I told you the story that I went to the dentist, and even before getting seated in my cubicle, people were asking, who's smelling this? Are you smelling what I'm smelling? Oh, people were like wondering where the beautiful smell came from, and it was me wearing Memo Granada. Stunning orange blossom white flower fragrance, massive projection, massive sillage, and massive compliment getter. And on top of that, it's beautiful. So beautiful that you can ask for more. I think this is something I will repurchase. Granada by Memo Paris. The next one is Rolling in Love. This also is getting some hype. It's getting hype. over the internet. It's an amazing fragrance. It's the among all my fragrances is the fragrance that smells most different from anything in the market. This is lactonic, this is iris, this is musk, and this is almond. Those four notes are like the most prominent ones, and that's it. That's what you will get. I think it's a very linear fragrance. It doesn't change so much. But I want to do a disclaimer here. Sometimes when I hear a fragrance is so linear, people say that like, some people say that like in a negative way. I don't think that that fragrance being linear is something negative, because sometimes I really want a fragrance to smell exactly what made me purchase it, right? Because sometimes you like something at the beginning and then after a couple hours you don't like it anymore, or maybe you don't like it as much as you liked at the beginning. Sometimes you like it even more, right? But sometimes it doesn't happen. So I appreciate if a fragrance still smells like I fell in love with when I fell in love with it, right? So being linear to me is not a negative thing. And well, that's what I want to say about this. At least in my skin, this is a very, very linear fragrance. It doesn't change. It lasts 6-7 good hours. I wouldn't say it's a beast mode type of fragrance. It's not like projection will be a beast, like from another room, nobody will really tell that you're wearing this. But still, every time I put this on, people rave about it and people ask me what I'm wearing. It's a super, super sexy fragrance. It's better for nighttime. I think during the day it will be a little bit too much, maybe a little bit cloying. It's sweet, and the lactonic note here combined with the almonds, it's a bomb. It's a sweet bomb and the most sexy thing I've ever smelled. Rolling in love, well deserved the hype. I'm not a hype person, as you might know already about me. I don't follow hypes. I don't believe in hypes. This is totally worth it. Guys, the next one, it's Orchid Bloom. This is by Shanghai Tang. David Tang was the designer of this high-end luxury brand. It's based in Hong Kong. It's an Asian brand. Amazing. Unfortunately, the designer passed away, so they discontinued his fragrances. But this is a very, very hard to find. If you get it and snag it, I think if you like white flowers, I would say this is a safe blind buy. But sometimes it's hard to buy blind buy stuff. This is also a very linear white floral, but it's one of the most stunning white flowers I've ever purchased. It's orchid, and or maybe you don't, but orchid in perfumery, it's a fantasy note. It doesn't really exist because you can't squeeze or steam the orchid in the same way like you can do that with gardenia. Gardenia fragrance actually is recreated mixing tuberose with jasmine usually. So same happens with orchid. Orchid it's a pretty fantasy. It's like a fantasy note, right? But this has been so well blended, so well done, that when I smell this, the only flower that comes to my mind is the orchid. So it definitely smells like what an orchid would smell. It's an amazing fragrance, beyond sophisticated. This is like sophistication in a bottle. If you find this online, let me know because I want to buy a backup. It's a very, very hard to find fragrance, and I love it. Orchid Bloom by Shanghai Tang. To die for, really. To die for. The next one is an oldie. I already talked about this one. This is La Prairie. This is the original perfume. La Prairie, it's another high-end skincare brand. It's based in Switzerland, and they launched this, I think, in the 90s. Oh gosh. This is a really complex fragrance. It has so many different notes, and they take all a different direction. But I think this is one of the most well-made fragrances in the world. Honestly, there's everything here. It's a nighttime fragrance. Labels or not, like it or not, you can. I think this would be like too much if you put this on during the day. But you do you. If you like it, why not? but there's a little bit of everything. It's a super rich, super bold. It's intoxicating. It's very boozy. It smells super, super, super expensive. It's a floral oriental. We have some amber here. It's very balsamic. It's a warm spicy. You can get cinnamon, coriander here. It has peach, it has plum, it has ylang ylang, it has rose. It's a mishmash of everything, but it's so well done that it smells luxurious, it smells expensive, it smells refined, sophisticated, and massive compliment getter. It's discontinued. Sometimes it's hard to understand why successful fragrances are discontinued by the brands, by the houses. Unfortunately, this is one of the cases. It's been discontinued, but you can still get it online, but it's extremely expensive. I've seen a bottle of this one about $800. It's a little bit too much. I'm not willing to pay that, but but still, this is a fragrance I am in the hunt of. So if you see this online for less than $800, please let me know, because I can't wait to repurchase it. It's super, super, super unique. Again, it's La Prairie, the original perfume. So guys, the next one is, it's Broom du Matan by Fragrance du Bois. I think this is one of the fragrances by this gorgeous house that nobody talks about, and I think this is one of my favorites. Broom du Matin, it's like, it reminds me fresh cut grass early in the morning. This is it. It's very, very refined, very, very refined. It has some peach, it has plum. I also read it has some sandalwood, but honestly, you don't get any of those notes, really. This is super fresh, but it's not herbal, if it makes sense. It's fresh. It reminds me of water. It reminds me of a dewy leaf, early in the morning with the tiny drops of water. But you don't smell any of those notes at all. It's very aquatic. I think this is a very aquatic fragrance. It has some sandalwood. That's the only note that I can pick very, very deep down, which gives this fragrance a little bit of depth, and it makes it not so airy. But still, it's a fresh fragrance. It's amazing, super sophisticated as well. It is, to me, this is to die for. It's daytime use, especially in the mornings. This is safe for office use. If you have to go to the dentist, to the doctor, wherever you go, this is going to be safe. People will love this. This is really a mass appealing type of fragrance, very soft, and it has sillage. Sillage it's pretty good considering this is a fresh fragrance. It's amazing. I love Fragrance du Bois, and this in particular is one of my absolute favorites. Broom du Matin. Two more. So the next one is Aster Place by Bond 9. So you will hear everything about this one. To me, this is a flower explosion. It's amazing, massive compliment getter. Listen, it's not that I care about compliments. Of course, I like compliments, but I'm not gonna wear a fragrance that I don't love just for the sake of getting compliments. But some people do care about compliments, no judgment here. So that's why I always say massive compliment getter or not. There are some fragrances that are gorgeous. I never get compliments with any of them, but still I wear them because I love them, right? Who cares? I'm not wearing fragrances for other people, I'm wearing them for myself. But in this one in particular, and some of the others I mentioned, like Granada, Anayaki, La Prairie, those are really massive compliment getters, and this is no exception. It's a flowery fragrance, excuse me, but it's very juicy as well. And I couldn't understand why, because it's floral, 100%, but still it has some tart to it, something tart, some tartness, and I couldn't tell why. It's very, very, very juicy. It's very invigorating as well. So I did my research and found out it has some mandarin as a top note, and that is probably what makes it very, very juicy. It's like a fizzy fragrance. It's a happy fragrance. It puts a smile on my face every time I wear this. People love it, especially men. And I think it's one of the most beautiful fragrances made by the house of Bond 9. Bond 9 is also a niche house. And I think this one, I own quite a few of this house, and I think this is one of the best. Needless to say, the bottle. Again, Aster Place by Bond 9. And guys, the last one is my absolute favorite of all of them. If you ask me which perfume would you pick forever, like if I had to pick just one fragrance forever, I will pick this one, which is Luau by Xerjoff. Luau is my one and only. It's my one and only. Luau has cantaloupe in the composition. It has cantaloupe. I think it has some iris. Yeah, I can smell some iris here. Musk and pink pepper. But this is not a musky fragrance. So the musk here is very subdued. The musk here gives kind of coziness to the fragrance. It makes the fragrance be a skin scent, because unfortunately projection is not very strong. Like it will be like an arm length projection, and if people don't get really close to you, probably at arm length they will smell it. Otherwise, slightly far away, they won't. Unfortunately, Sillage is average. It's not a beast or anything, but the fragrance itself is so gorgeous, so stunning, so feminine that, you know what, I don't care. When I have an event or whatever, whenever I want to wear this, I always take with me a decant, because I like to respray it all over the day or through the night, because I know it's not going to last many hours. I know the Sillage is not really the best projection neither, like arm length only. So for that reason, even if all that things are not the most attractive ones to buy a fragrance, still this is my favorite one. And again, I don't care. I don't mind carrying along a sample or a decant, so I can spray it throughout the event, the day, the night, wherever, because it's really worth it. It's so beautiful. The people that could smell it always told me, wow, tell me what you're wearing, because I never smelled something like that before. I think it's different. It's different from standard fragrances. I think it's very different from the Xerjoff fragrances. Xerjoff makes totally different fragrances among them, but still you can still smell the DNA, Xerjoff DNA. So this is very, very different. And Luau is my absolute favorite. Give it a try. I don't think you will regret. By no means, because I read the other day that someone was saying like it's like a dated type of fragrance. Oh my, not at all. Well, sometimes it changes with the skin and everything, but this is by no means an outdated fragrance or your grandma type of fragrance. There's no aldehydes here, so you don't have that classy, outdated type of feeling. So I think it's stunning, and it's definitely worth a try. So guys, the last one was here. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like my content, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to support me grow my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Please let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite fragrance? Are you familiar with any of the fragrances I've mentioned? And I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe. Bye bye.